Is it blinking?
Yeah, I don't know if it's on.
Ben.
Yeah, ma'am.
Is the red light?
Yeah, lad.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Turn that one on.
Am I thick?
Ben.
Oh, something.
When the camera's on, it's all a big bit of fun. We're on the big red shutter club. On the big red shutter club. I'll do.
So, hello and welcome back to season 2 of the Red Shutter Club. I'm here with my favorite Irishman, Blair. Hiya.
Hey everybody.
I don't-
Yo.
How you doing, Blair?
I'm pretty good. It's too hot.
It is too
It's
hot.
too hot. I have to stop myself from melting. I gotta stick my hand in the fridge every
Mhm.
now and again to stop my
I did not move to this country for this weather, and I'm a little upset. I kind of want my money back.
I'm a little bit pissed off as well. Maybe we
Yeah.
should start a petition.
I think we should. So, you were actually one of the first people I met on the open mic scene.
Really?
Yeah, at
Oh.
the Monday Club.
Uh,
So, tell us just a bit about your experience in music in Liverpool.
oh well, in September I would have been here for like 10 years. It's gonna be my 10-year anniversary. I'm actually gonna have like a migration party if you are interested. It could
Well, this will
fun,
be
that.
out in September, so
Just in time.
get a big party going.
Yeah, we could have like a drive-in. What do you call it? Yeah,
And it'll be here on a pedestrian street. We'll have a drive.
yeah, maybe not my street. Some suspect characters on it. But yeah, I arrived here on the potato boat with only my possessions and my little bindle on my back, and yeah, I didn't know anybody coming over here as well, so I just sort of like randomly went out to sort of open mics in the area to see what was what. So I eventually happened upon the cavern where we first met.
Fate.
And then yeah, kind of just been like milling around doing that same old shite for 10 years now. Not really progressing.
Well, do you? What is progression?
Well,
then?
that's the thing. What is progression? Like my music's definitely got better. In fact, Ian says that nearly every time because sometimes he has that little speech he made for me to begin with.
Yes.
Where he was like, here's our favourite Irishman. When he used to come here, however many years ago, because he can't remember, he's like, I mean, he used to say he was shit, but now he's changed that to kind of like, he's kind of trying to spare my feelings a little bit. So now he's saying like, oh, he was okay, which is almost a bit worse. 'Cause that's the way your condescending aunt says it, isn't it? Christmas dinner.
You heard it here, folks. Ian Prowse is
Don't-
everybody's condescending hand.
Cut that. Ben's just gone like this.
What does progression look like? What is success?
Oh, see, that's the thing. Like, they're I suppose the most successful artists, i.e., and by extension, like the best musicians, are going to be the ones that are the most popular and famous. So, in a sense, Elton John's obviously one of the greatest musicians there are. But in terms of success, is that because he's better than all the other ones? He is in like certain terms of musicianship. Although, like, would you say that somebody like Harry Styles, who's often compared to like David Bowie or something, do you think that he would actually be in the same level of I'm gonna have to cut this interview. That's so
Harry.
unprofessional.
He sensed
That's so
he
unprofessional.
sensed the attack
Ooh.
and he's messing.
Oh yeah, well come at me, lad. Come at me. I'm from Belfast. I eat bricks. So in terms of success, if you have like a full team of like writers producing your art essentially for you to slap your name on at the end, like that's success, but it's not necessarily what I want to go out and do. If I wanted success, I'd play what is I think Barry Sutton was saying this, to be fair. I'd play what is commercially viable rather than what I actually want to play. But you'd end up like flipping you end up one of those like cliche like washed up celebrities at some point in the future being like my like one hit wonders and stuff like that. Why would you want to do that? So you know what? I'd rather be like a complete failure and play my songs than get anywhere and play somebody else's.
Oh god. Well, it is quite interesting because I think out of the scene you have some of the most memorable songs.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's if you're at the Monday Club or something, everybody's singing along.
yeah.
You know, Ian did it. He might have been your condescending aunt when he introduced you, but at the end of your set, it's always, "Oh, I'm gonna steal that song."
He's always really supportive. Actually, he's
Yeah,
become very supportive, which is
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
From maybe he's not a condescending aunt. Maybe he's just like a that uncle who gets a bit pissed at Christmas. You know what I mean?
I now have the blooper sound effect just saved. I should just get a button at this point.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah. Could you put the Seinfeld theme tune on sometimes as well, like intermittently? We should have got James in as like Kramer, and you could have like a camera behind me, and he just. That'll be good.
Goodness.
Save that for next time.
You're someone who you just kind of do music for fun.
Yeah, yeah. I don't actually realize that people are singing the songs. To be fair, because I'm not really paying attention to them,
Yeah.
and I find that like this isn't a criticism, but I find out a lot of my favorite, I'm not favorite, fellow musicians on the scene often do that because we all want to make money doing music, ideally, so we don't have to work a normal job.
Yeah.
I get that, lad. I get that. But I find that a lot of people don't enjoy themselves on stage because of that fact, because they're trying to sell a product. They're trying to sell themselves as a product. And I don't really. I mean, I've recorded stuff and put it on Spotify, but like, so I have a product I could like go out and sell, but you never actually hear me sell it. Maybe that's because I get a bit nervous when I go on stage to begin with. I'm just like, yeah, here's my socks. There's literally like no conversation between me and the audience because I think I'm just up there to have fun, really.
Yeah.
And you can tell when people aren't having fun.
Yeah.
And it is so much less fun to watch a performance if you clearly see that somebody's not interested in what they're playing or is shouting themselves because they're watching who is walking in and out of the room, who's paying attention or who's actually engaged in it.
Do you
know?
really still get that nervous playing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I get nervous playing, yeah.
I would not know that because I've said this before, I think, because I'll do like gig photos sometimes. You're one of my favorite musicians to photograph, not in a creepy way, but just like, don't scoff. Just because you're one of the musicians that you're just kind of one with your instrument. Like you really aren't paying attention to the crowd.
No.
And you just like it almost comes across as if like you own that stage, not in like a, oh, look at me kind of way.
It's I've firmly segmented myself away from the audience. It just so happens there's an audience out there. I think I have my eyes closed a lot as well.
Yeah.
Or I'm just like I'm kind of shuffling about the stage like like a I was gonna say like a cool lion or something, but I'm not really like a cool lion. I'm more like a somebody walking about their padded room in an asylum.
Well, there's two types of like eyes closed performers. There's the like John Witherspoon with just like the very like
I'm passionate.
quiet passion.
Yeah.
And then are you just like are you just gonna trip and fall at any moment because you're like hopping around the stage?
I do bash into stuff as well. I like often go like with the mic and bash my lips off it as well, and sometimes I have to like suppress a little like because I've scared myself that the microphone's actually there. You know, it's like I'm in a different realm. I'm in a different dimension.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I think that's what I mean when it's just about having fun with it, because it's just I'm just there performing what I like to perform. I can do it as loud as I want to, as fast as I want to, and everybody else be damned, because I don't really care about them at all.
Which is really quite interesting because watching the audience at the Monday Club, because I'm always paying attention to like how the crowd reacts to each performer. I mean, you draw people in and you don't care about drawing them in. Maybe that's how you draw them in. Thank you, Ben.
Wu-Tang for life.
Don't be doing gang signs on my set. Don't. He hit the Gwitty.
He did this to Shannon. He did this to Shannon.
He hit the Gwitty.
A boomerang. Do
Well,
people still use boomerang? I
don't know.
I don't care. I don't know why I'm asking that question.
We'll ask our resident Australian Sarah. But while Ben was hitting the Gwitty,
He boomerang like the fucking thing.
How the fuck am I
On Instagram, a boomerang, you record it, she thinks actual. That comes back.
Do you think I was talking about boomerangs?
I thought you were thinking you were old by saying that you still go on. She actually doesn't even know what a social
Look at
media
now.
is. She does social media. This is her job.
It disturbs me a little bit that you think I just like go like I'll just start talking about boomerangs and you didn't even bat an eye really. You're just like oh I know a couple of Australians will ask. I'll get the lowdown on boomerangs for you, Blair. I'll get back to you, lad. Fucking hell.
You've been stealing his question. Like, just.
You're digging yourself out of it. Cut that.
Ben had a very good question that I think we'll end this out on. Is what is your songwriting process?
What's the process? What's the creative process, eh? You know, sometimes I just read like a really intelligent book, right? And
Stop
I'm
that.
looking at some fine art, and
I'll
then
kick you out.
I just get ideas all the way through, and it's just like God looks down at me, and hang on. It's just like could you crash zoom on that bit?
I will, yeah.
Can you
yeah.
crash it when I go? We'll do like some Tim and Eric stuff there. And it's just like God shining down on me and blessing me these ideas because, you know, I'm obviously just like superior or something. You know. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know.
What's that?
If I'm doing a real answer, I suppose I'd say that it's quite sitting down with the guitar and just kind of finding nice little bits is quite a cathartic experience. And I am quite interested in a lot of things from like films and books and all sorts. And I suppose with that, you do get these little like weird ideas.
Mhm.
And there's almost like decoupage, like where you get a lot of disparate ideas, which can all be sort of like tied together into something completely original. And I suppose
Mhm.
that's what like the development of music actually is, from genre to genre. You know, it's finding inspirations from all over and just kind of stitching them together with your own thread. You
Yeah.
get me? You know,
Well,
with your own voice, like in
you-
my case, literally.
You do have some pretty deep meanings to your songs. And I think sometimes people don't realize that. Like, I know it is the funniest thing. Have you ever seen John Lindsay get upset with the way Ian closes you out if you play Freddie? John Lindsay will get genuinely upset if Ian talks about like, oh yeah, it's a true story of
Oh,
how some girl
uh,
shows up and was like, fucking is Freddie home? He's not.
Yeah.
Then like, you know, and then John will be like, it's such a deep story about like just emotion and love loss and all these things. And like he gets genuinely mad, and John doesn't get that.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, like, I do think, well, because to be fair, it's probably my fault because I don't actually introduce it that much anymore because I'm usually playing in front of yous. So yous all basically know the story, and I'm not trying to impress anybody really. But with Freddie, I'll just talk to the camera here to deliver the story on that. So originally, when I first came to Liverpool, my second year of college, one day when I was living at the Bull Ring, I got a knock at the door, and there was a very attractive girl at the door. I don't really remember what she looks like now, but I just remember having like curly hair and brown eyes. And she was asking for some fellow called Freddie. I said that he didn't live there, and then she propositioned me for sex. Now, at the time, I was a very lonely boy, and I think this is a difference from where Ian takes it to where John takes it, because where Ian takes it, it's just a case of, hey, lad, free sex at the door, baby. Hey, it's like a pizza man coming like, hey, did I order the pizza with extra sausage? It's sort of vibe, right? But you get, bet you have. You're too young for that, mate. You haven't got the child block off your computer yet. Sorry, man. Sorry, mate. So I suppose some people take it that meaning. It's like, we love, we got sex on a plate. Whoa, yeah. But then the sort of like the deeper meaning of it, if I can be enough of an arsehole to say it has, would be that, you know, being lonely at the time and being offered sort of sex on a plate, given how much of a right a lot of young men seem to think that that should be.
Yeah.
Actually having it arrive in your plate in that way, it was actually a very empty experience because I was craving companionship in some sense. Because the ending with the Freddie story is that it turns out the girl was like doing an audio recording to send off to somebody else, presumably for vengeance or bragging rights or who knows. But I was just left there just with a pair of socks on, as I say in the song, sat like Aristotle in a pair of socks.
Mm.
You know.
Well, I
So-
think with that, we might need to head off to the couch concert.
Oh, hey. Thanks for joining me on the sofa, babe. I've got a little ditty for you about some fella called Freddie. I was on the lookout for love. Like a blind man in a bungee pit, I was scared to go outside. Cause that's where the rest of existence lives. Virtual reality, the kind that turns on without the leaves. I'll stay home alone and dream of someone coming out my top. Who's that? There's somebody knocking at my door. And there stood a girl with brown eyes and curls. She said she wanted to sleep with some fella called Freddie, and I just say, alright. She said if he doesn't happen to live here, then why don't we spend the night? I said, alright. It's 2 in the afternoon, like. Hey, that's the way to say hello. Oh, oh, oh. Screaming like a dog in heat. Oh, oh! Oh, Freddie, oh, Freddie, oh, Freddie is not my name. How many times do I have to say? Hey, that's the way to say hello. To say hello. After all was said and done, I was sat like Aristotle in a pair of socks. She had her foot in the door, holding a tape recorder, and she thanked me twice. It don't feel nice to be the brick that shatters life. Oh, please don't let me get what I want. It shows how pointless my desires are. All because there was somebody knocking at my door, and there stood a girl with brown eyes and curls. She said she wanted to sleep with some fella called Freddie, and I just say, alright. She said if he doesn't happen to live here, then why don't we spend the night? I said, alright. It's 2 in the afternoon, like. Hey, that's no way to say hello. Oh, oh, oh.
talking here. Oh, Freddie, oh, Freddie, oh, Freddie is not my name. How many times do I have to say, hey, hey, that's no way to say hello, to say hello. Hey, that's no way to say hello. Oh, hey, that's no way to say hello. Oh, and I said, hey, that's no way to say hello. Hey, that's no way to say hello.
Did you ever meet Freddie?
No, actually.
Probably
No.
probably a good thing.
I've
Well-
got the mental image of him. I just think he's like, I don't know. I always just thought he'd be like this really tall, sinewy guy with greasy long hair. I don't know why I've got
Mm.
that mental image of him.
So he looks like
Possibly
Ben.
blonde hair. He might be wearing denim dungarees and nothing else.
I mean, that's what I was wearing yesterday, so.
Yeah, right, doggy.
All right. So, is there anything you want to plug before we go?
Go listen to It Is What It Is on Spotify.com.net.
She said if he doesn't happen to live here, then why don't we spend the night? I said, alright, it's 2 in the afternoon, like.
So, hello and welcome back to the Red Shutter Club. I'm here today with the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Orange.
Hello. Do I look at that or do I look at you? Try and look at them both at the same time.
You should just go
Goes on.
cross-eyed.
My eyes are a bit like that at Glastonbury, to be fair. So
If you bring up Glastonbury one
Hey,
more
one more
time.
time, yeah. Just trying to live in the moment, you know.
Oh God, you're
Start reflecting
also
back.
pulling the veil back on how far in advance we're filming these.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I know, but I'll still be depressed about Glastonbury then, to be fair, honestly. I've set my tent up in me flat just because it's got to like get all the dew and the condensation off it, and I was considering just getting into it like I'm in Platoon or something like that, you know, just to recreate the
Oh,
festival vibe.
my
so.
goodness. So, Chas,
Yes.
you've been in this music scene for quite a while.
Show me age then, yeah. Yeah, well, you know, it's hard to say when it starts really, because you start as a kid, like when you're 15 or whatever, and it doesn't really feel like you're getting into an industry. It's only when you look back on it and you go, oh shit, I've been doing this for a while, like, and that's the first swear word of the thing. I don't know what the rules are on swearing. Absolutely fucking fine. Cool. Uh, so yeah, started when I was 15 and that, just kind of playing and that. But I think when you get to 18, 19 and you start reading books about bands and watching biopics and stuff, you start to get a bit more like, oh, there's a way you can do it. And then you get a bit older and you realize maybe I shouldn't have done it the way that they tried to do it in the 60s because it's not really relevant. So
Yeah.
I think that's a big problem, really, you know, that I was trying to make it the same way the Beatles did by playing loads of gigs and things like that, when actually, you know, you should be kind of in the moment looking at the modern world because it ain't the 60s anymore.
That's actually a valid point that I don't think somebody's brought up yet.
Yeah, no, I've been thinking it a while, to be fair, you know, that if I could go back, if I could turn back time. Yeah, if I could go back, I would tell my younger self, you know, it's all very nice to, you know, feel like, you know, what's the words, you know, the retro kind of vibe is cool and everything, but it's just not applicable. You know, the music industry is a completely different animal now. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of magazines and things like that you can keep up to date with and see what's happening, with the modern music industry. But yeah, it's not the 60s, it's not the 70s, it's not the 90s, it's not like Oasis or anything like that. Still not done like that. It's rare that you'll just go to a venue and a manager will be there or a label boss will be there and go, I want that. It's all done on Spotify streams, Instagram numbers and things like that, TikTok now as well. Those are the big fish really that you've got to be understanding, which is kind of bad because it should just be about writing songs, like good songs and stuff. So it's a little bit depressing, but
Now it's a bit of a popularity contest.
well, that's why it's usually good to have a songwriter in a band and have someone who's really tech savvy, who maybe isn't involved with that stuff, who can kind of just like lead the way in the social media kind of frontier, and because I think it's hard to be a songwriter and true to yourself, and then I mean those are the real crazy cats, the ones who will do all the social media, all the Spotify, all of that, and then be writing songs and then doing all the marketing. So yeah, those are the people who are really making it right now. And if you've got ADHD or anything like that, it's not the easiest thing to do, to be constantly doing stuff
It
like
is
that.
not. I mean, I've done it for this.
Yeah.
Posting pretty much every day for 4 months. I'm dead.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it anymore. I keep trying to get Ben Whitley to
Yeah. It's like hosts of open mics. You'll see they'll pop up and they'll absolutely love it, and then you'll start see, oh, we've got a guest hosting it this week, and then suddenly there's more and more guests and things like that. I'm very much like that. I'll get obsessed by something for a little period of time. I absolutely love it, and then after like something, you just wake up one day and just go, I absolutely hate this now.
We've officially made it to ADHD hour.
Yeah.
You were saying something interesting about open mics last night. About like oversaturation of open mics and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think you always have this period when, right now, I think we're in the period when there's a load of open mics. After COVID, there's only one or two, so you kind of had this great moment when you'd get all the really good songwriters all going to the same places, kind of exchanging ideas and things like that. And now there's like 2 or 3 every night. It's really dispersed, so there's not really one that's doing amazingly well. There's just a load which are kind of just about breaking even,
Yeah.
and that happens all the time. And it happened when I was running open mics about 5 years ago, just around the corner from here. And then with a load more open mics come and a load more come, and then you've got people coming to yours for one or two sets, and then they're leaving, and by the end of it they all kind of go away because the bars go, well, you're only bringing 3 or 4 acts here, we can't sustain it. And then it starts up again. So in a couple of years, when these all collapse, which I think they all will, because it's just the secular nature of how it works, how the scene works. Then there'll be a good period again in a few years when only 1 or 2 pop up. So, but that was the good thing about post-COVID, is there was only the Ditto one, which was great, and then a couple more things on Lark Lane and stuff. So you just kind of had those, and just had this really kind of condensed area where loads of people were meeting each other, hearing people's songs for the first time and things. So yeah, that's why I don't really go to them anymore. There's too many, they don't know where anyone's going to be, but used to just know where everyone was going to be. You could just go to Ditto and be like, well, everyone's going to be there, it's going to be great. And now I have no idea where people are going to be, and that's scary,
Now you're also doing a master's in
not a master's, just the what do you call it? The first one, not the master's now. Yeah. What's it called? Bachelor's, bachelor's in music management. Only because the doll were getting on me back about not getting a job, and when they just offer you everything, they're like, oh, would you want to be like a cleaner or something? It's like, well, not really, because I mean, I like cleaning my own flat, so I don't want to clean someone else's. And yeah, so they were basically getting them on me back. So I just said, oh, I've applied for uni. Just lied. I managed to apply with like a minute to go, and I love it, to be fair. You're meeting loads of people at conferences, meeting loads of guest speakers coming in, teaching things about the industry. I'm one of those people who always thinks I know everything, and then I learn more.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Not just Cilla Black, whose statue's just down there. Yeah, so I'm learning a load, and it's really interesting. It's really great for networking. I've just been working at the Isle of Wight Festival, meeting some great people there, which that was off the back of uni and stuff like that. So Yeah, I didn't want to go to uni when I was younger because, like, I was linking back to what I was saying before. I was like, the Beatles didn't go to uni, or like Oasis didn't go to uni. It's
Hmm.
and I think when you're a bit older and you do it off your own back instead of getting forced to do it, you kind of enjoy it more, you learn more, and you kind of apply it to the real world
Hmm.
more. And I think that's especially true to music industry things.
Hmm.
You learn stuff and it's immediately applicable to either your career or your friends' careers or people you want to
Hmm.
help. And if you're like most people who are in the music industry or in music are obsessed by it, so sitting down and learning about that every day, it's just
Hmm.
like watching a live documentary about the music industry,
Hmm.
marketing and finances and stuff. So yeah, I've just done a really good advert for going to university there and doing a music degree. So
Stay in
yeah,
school,
you can
kids.
pay me later, Lipper. Like,
Not sponsored by Lipa.
I should have a Lipper t-shirt there. I've got a Lipper tattoo, but it's on my ass, so I don't want to show you.
Listen, Marl already beat you to that joke.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone
He's
else has said that.
Yeah, sponsored by
Uh,
Vimto, so he's got Vimped, and then
oh, really?
you've got your forehead tattoo booked in. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's on my arm.
Well,
It's got Vimped on one thing.
I think Marl should get that Vimto tattoo. Comment down below.
And I definitely will get it.
If the video gets 1 million likes.
Sure, I will go. We'll go get a million likes. I'll get Vimped tattooed on my.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
But
Uh,
let's see. Where do we want to pivot? Probably time for one more question.
I don't know. I think we've been pivoting quite well. Pivoting in any direction.
This has been very smooth. Yeah.
You can ask me anything that you want to know.
I can ask you anything.
Anything, yeah. Anything legal.
In fear that I might inflate your ego.
Mm.
You've got some catchy songs.
Oh, thank you very much.
What is your songwriting process?
I thought you might ask this, I think it changes all the time, really. I think sometimes you can hear, like, sometimes you gotta lose. One of my songs, that was like a note that I had in my phone. I was like, everybody's got to lose sometimes, was a note I had in my phone, from mishearing a Corgi song. And yeah, so that one was just, and then I had there was a completely different song with a different melody with the same chords. And then someone said, "Oh, you should rewrite that because the lyrics are a bit shite." And I was like, "All right." And then kind of looked on my notes on my phone and started playing it, and then that came together. A lot of the times, you just pick up the guitar and you start writing a melody and singing nonsensical lyrics until a lyric will pop out of your subconscious, and you'll be like, "Oh, that's interesting." And you keep on writing, and then you kind of write all these nonsensical lyrics down, and you go, "Okay, what's my subconscious trying to say right now?" And then you go, "Okay, well, that lyric kind of links into that lyric there. So that makes sense." Like, oh, okay, this is what I'm trying to say. And then you go, "Oh, that's really applicable to my life. Actually, that's what and I think that's most times that's what it is. It's just kind of like when you're in, because I can only write songs, and I think maybe it's true for a lot of people, when you're in this kind of like meditative, I don't know if that's a word, kind of place in your brain where you're not really thinking about anything. Because if you're trying to think of writing a melody, you can't do it. If you just sit there strumming away and then something comes out of the universe and you go, "Hang on a second," you start writing the melody and it all comes out. So yeah, I think that's probably the most common way that I do it. To be honest, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I've never said before. But now thinking about it on the spot, that probably
You're
is.
pulling back the veil.
What's that?
You're pulling back the veil. You're
Pulling
letting your
back the
secrets
veil,
out.
yeah. Yeah.
So,
much so.
I've got 2 questions to finish us off.
Cool.
What is a song in the music scene that you wish you wrote?
There's a few, Ross or Outsider. He's got too many to say, and I think basically anything that Conor Abraham writes from the Stamp, and anything Ross Outsider writes, I'm incredibly jealous of. I think they're 2 amazing talents. Saying that, I think everyone in the Stamp writes, and like Paul Naz's songs, which he's putting out now, they're fantastic, and Tom Lane's songs, they're great, and then yeah. So I think just pretty much though. But I would say Connor and Ross, yeah, definitely. Like they're just top tier them. But then there's loads of great people in the music scene. I think it's the most remarkable music scene, you know, going really, because just I think that's the nature of Liverpool is melodies, and I probably would like to see more of the people who can write those melodies finding more success and being more. I mean, there's a lot of great bands, great indie bands doing quite well, and they're playing the festival circuit and things like that, but they don't really have any songs, which I'm like, it's not like when you listen to the Smiths or the Lads or, like I mentioned before, like the Beatles or Oasis and things like that, where you go, there's some crazy good songs. You kind of go, they're a tight band, they've got a good vibe, and they've got a good young following, and they're getting good opportunities. But I don't hear the caliber of songs that I hear from, like I say, the Stamping Outside and things like that, because those are songs where they play it once and you go home and it's in your head, and the next time they play it, you know all the words. I don't find that with a lot of bands who are kind of having this kind of success. Maybe they'll grow into it, but I think they've got great marketing and things like that, but they haven't got that kind of, a lot of them are quite young, so they maybe will develop into it, but haven't got that songwriter where you just go, that's amazing. Like, you can just do that, and you'll be able to do that for the next 20 years. And if you can get onto that platform where you're playing festivals and, touring like these other bands are, then you will have success. You will have top 10 albums because you've got that person who can write consistent, great pop songs, great indie rock songs, and things like that.
Yeah. Second question. The entire music scene in Liverpool goes into the octagon, fighting it out.
Yeah.
Who's winning?
Who's winning? God, that's a hard one. I'm just trying to think who's the biggest and the tallest. Oh God, I don't know.
To be fair, it is worth noting that the person who told me I should ask these two questions is Guy, who's about 6'4".
Well, I'd say, I mean, okay, a class, maybe Bill Lacey. He's played Ditto a few times, so I consider that to be part of the music scene. I'd say him. He's like 6'8" or something like that. Yeah, so I'd say him. And I swerved off going to the gym with him tonight to come to this as well. So I'll give him a little shout out there and all, like, for letting him down.
Oh goodness! All right, so I think with that we'll head off to our couch concert.
Couch concert, yeah.
What are you going to be playing for us today?
I'll be playing my new hit single, 17, which you can find on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube.
The marketers come out.
The marketers come out? Yeah. Well, you do marketing as well, so yeah. Plugging, really. Yeah. Oh, you're not meant to be.
No.
Oh, right. So, beep. Just beep it out.
Just don't call me out like that.
Yeah. 17, the new single, an acoustic version of it.
Good. Cool.
That is one of my favorites, I will say.
Oh, 17.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
17.
Yeah, no, I was working out an acoustic-ish kind of thing. I started playing it earlier. I was playing it a little bit different, so I might just try that, see if that works. That'd be cool. Yeah, a bit slower, a bit more of a acoustic vibe. I think it's just my tiredness, really, from back-to-back festivals, which is
From
leading.
Glasgow.
From
I'm
Glastonbury,
just
I love writing Glastonbury.
exhausted.
It's affected me. I'm a changed man. I'm starting to write slow acoustic songs now.
Well, the changed Chas. Thank
Yeah,
you for joining
yeah,
us
the
on the
change
show
in me.
today.
Yeah, yeah. Nice one for having me. Anyway.
Of course, man. Of course, anytime.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to plug?
No, just the latest single, 17. I think we did quite a lot of gigs around the release of that, and I think we're taking a little bit of a break now, and then probably come back with a headline show maybe in a few months' time, and then going to be putting an EP out, and we've got a gig in Glasgow which we need to organise, and yeah, so maybe put a little bit of a tour together.
Well, that'll be sooner because this will be out in the fall.
Oh yes, we'll there will be a gig very shortly. It might even be tomorrow. You never
It
know.
might even be in the description.
Might even be having right now. Yeah. So it could be in the description. Yeah. Yeah. And
Well, you have to go and check.
but yeah, I think seeing as it's September, check out all my past singles on Spotify. They're all there, all on YouTube, all on every single social media platform and streaming service that you can possibly think of, apart from anyone that's like owned by anyone who's like a maniac or anything like that. If Elon Musk by now has bought a streaming service, then I can assure you that it'll be taken off that that service because he's mad.
If you're Elon Musk, comment down below.
Do you know what? It wouldn't even be that mental if he says. He's that weird. He just scours the internet for anyone mentioning him, in a wetsuit in the desert, just kind of looking for people like who know who he is. He could even be dead by now. You never know what happens.
And our next guest
Elon Musk, yeah.
walks out in the flippers.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something.